Testing, testing, one, two, three. You're for me. You're for me. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, one, two, three. Testing, 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 one, two, three. Testing. I really need a new mic. Shit crazy. Testing, 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 one, two, three. Testing. I really need a new mic. Shit crazy. All right, is this good? Testing. Testing. I really need a new mic. Shit crazy. All right, is this good? Testing. Normalize the action. Raise above the satisfaction.
Come here and let me look at you.
All right, is this good? Testing. Normalize the action. Get some Raise above the satisfaction.
Hello, Guardian. Welcome.
Come here and let me look at you.
Normalize the action. Get some satisfaction.
Hello, Guardian. Welcome.
It's a bit grainy. Get some satisfaction. It's a bit grainy. Why is it like this? Who would be watching if I'm unlisted right now? What settings do I need? Who would be watching if I'm unlisted right now? What settings do I need? Who would be watching if I'm unlisted right now? What settings do I need?
I never thought I'd live to see the darkness return. I never thought I'd live to see the darkness return.
What the heck is this?
Give the world what you want to receive.
Another
What is
coordinated
this?
blueprint for interplanetary orbital sails. So rarely poetry. I mean, I think I know.
What the heck is this?
No time for politics.
Give the world what you want to receive.
Another
What is
coordinated
this?
blueprint for interplanetary orbital sails.
What the heck is this? It's dark. I need light placed around here. Do I need to increase my brightness? What is this? It's dark. I need light placed around here. Do I need to increase my brightness?
Parent isn't even awoken. And what now?
It's dark. I need light placed around here. Do I need to increase my brightness? The quality got worse. OBS. The quality got worse. OBS. I gotta look up something. I gotta look up something.
You started with a beginner's guide to League of Legends, but now you're watching pro level tips. Continue your
What is going on, Stallions and Stallionettes? Welcome to the Gamer Heaven. I'm your host, AK40 Kevin. In my opinion, Destiny 2 is actually a very, very good game to stream. Looking at the numbers alone, it has generally around 28,000 to 32,000 viewers on Twitch each day. That's enough viewers that you can actually build a pretty solid community of people that enjoy watching that game, as long as you're entertaining and have something else to offer besides the existing Destiny 2 streamers. But it's not super oversaturated like something like Fortnite or Warzone or just chatting. So I just sold you on it, and now you want to start streaming or screen recording Destiny 2 for YouTube videos. However, it's not quite that simple. In fact, out of all the games that I have either live streamed or made YouTube screen recordings of, it's actually the most complicated because Bungie decided to opt out of support for full screen recording. Does this mean you need to build a new PC, sell your house, put your dog up for adoption? Not quite. I'm gonna play a little segment from my live stream last night, which, by the way, I didn't see you there. I was looking.
What the
Front row of
fuck?
the bleachers. Didn't see you there. I'm gonna go over some settings inside of Streamlabs OBS. These will be virtually identical to OBS, as Streamlabs OBS is literally just open broadcaster software with another layer of plugins and add-ons over it. And these will also apply to XSplit Broadcaster, Twitch Studio, or any other kind of screen recording / live streaming platform. Let's get this thing. Well, you can't see. You cannot use game capture. So if I come over here to my gameplay tab, where you can't see anything, you cannot use game capture, which is this source right here, which is generally what you want to use for games because it is much less resource intensive. You have to use display capture. Now, granted, if you have a mid-range to higher end PC, it won't be an issue, but there are some settings that you need to change. Now, on display capture here, if we double click, you can leave it on automatic, or if you're running Windows 10, you can select this. However, Streamlabs OBS is a smart enough program to differentiate what operating system you're running, and it will automatically select Windows 10 if that's what you have, and then select your primary monitor. Capture.
All right.
Your cursor will not matter when you're running a game. That's more so for, like, right now you can see my cursor if I'm doing a tutorial where I'm maneuvering around Windows 10. And also, another little interesting tidbit, you cannot press Windows and get maneuvering. That's more you have, and then select operators. However, Streamlabs OBS is a smart enough program to differentiate what operating system you're running, and it will automatically select Windows 10 if that's what you have, and then select your primary monitor. Capture cursor will not matter when you're running a game. That's more so for, like, right now you can see my cursor if I'm doing a tutorial where I'm maneuvering around Windows 10. And also, another little interesting tidbit, you cannot press Windows and get out of Destiny 2. You have to Alt-Tab, which is kind of weird. At first I thought that was the menu music for Destiny. I was like, oh, what a majestic soundtrack. Nope, that's my Streamlabs sounds. There we go. Game settings. So you're gonna come over here to video. Obviously, you want to have your native resolution and native refresh rate selected. Now, one of the things that you can do if you are getting dropped frames inside of Streamlabs OBS is set a manual frame rate cap. Now, I do have FreeSync, so if you have G-Sync, FreeSync, or V-Sync, which seem to work pretty well in Destiny, they do not work well in Warzone, Call of Duty Cold War, which I do. Obviously, you want to have your native resolution and native refresh rate selected. Now, one of
Where's the refresh rate? Can't see it with your.
One of the things that you can do if you are getting dropped frames inside of Streamlabs OBS is set a manual frame rate cap. Now, I do have FreeSync, so if you have G-Sync, FreeSync, or V-Sync, which seem to work pretty well in Destiny, they do not work well in Warzone, Call of Duty Cold War, or Modern Warfare. You need to set a manual frame rate cap of, 144, 165, whatever your monitor's native refresh rate is. And that will definitely save you from dropping frames inside of your actual screen recording. But the important settings that we need to change here, not brightness, what we're first going to do here.
Oh, God.
They do not work well in Warzone, Call of Duty Cold War, or Modern Warfare. You need to set a manual frame rate cap of, 144, 165, whatever your monitor's native refresh rate is.
How do I get my monitor's refresh rate? $2560 by $1440.
And that will definitely save you from. For Destiny, I was like, well, what a majestic soundtrack. So you're gonna come over here to video. Obviously, you want to have your native resolution and native refresh rate selected. Now, one.
Monitor refresh rate.
Just a second.
Display settings, is that what it said? Display settings. Advanced display settings. Alright. 240. Nice. Ah, I already have it set to that. Okay, awesome. Alright, so you're gonna exit this.
One of the things that you can do if you are getting dropped frames inside of Streamlabs OBS is set a manual frame rate cap. Now, I do have FreeSync, so if you have G-Sync, FreeSync, or V-Sync, which seem to work pretty well in Destiny, they do not work well in Warzone, Call of Duty Cold War, or Modern Warfare. You need to set a manual frame rate cap of, 144, 165, whatever your monitor's native refresh rate is. And that will definitely save you from dropping frames inside of your actual screen recording. But
Oh.
The important settings that we need to change here, not brightness. What we're first going to do here is come down here and turn off HDR. High dynamic range works incredibly wonky in this game. It does not look good, and it makes your screen recording look very non-representative of what you see on your monitor. Like, it looked wonky on my screen, but totally playable. Then I watched back my stream and I was like, oh God, this is what people were looking at for like 2 hours? Jesus Christ. And people were just kind enough to not really bust my balls over it. I think 1 or 2 people were like, what's up with the game? It looks kind of weird. And, you know, I was looking up, I didn't see any drop frames or anything in Streamlabs, so I'm like, it's fine. You're just being a, you know, a little ninny nanny. But indeed, you want to turn HDR off because it makes your screen look like it has a sunburn. Everything looks chromatic aberration. I would turn this off. This isn't going to mess up your screen recording or your stream, but what chromatic aberration does is puts a little bit of blur around the outside of the screen, which simulates basically a camera lens, how everything would be slightly out of focus on the outside. I don't like that. I turn that off in all games. Film grain not only looks cosmetically unappealing, but on screen recording or stream, it will look bad. So turn that off as well. I also recommend turning off motion blur. It takes up resources on your GPU for no reason. It actually, you can turn this off as well. I leave it on, and it's more resource intensive than it needs to be. Wind impulse, you can turn this off as well. I leave it on. It doesn't really affect anything for me. Those are the settings primarily that you need to change. If you do want to run game capture, Vice running display capture, you will not be able to run full screen because for some reason Bungie actually disabled that feature. There's an article about it on their support page on their website saying we don't support, and it blatantly says OBS, Streamlabs OBS, XSplit Broadcaster, basically all the programs that you would use to run a stream or screen record for YouTube. So what you can do is put this into borderless window or windowed full screen, but that has a bunch of restrictions to it. First of all, you can't really look up in the game because it'll go up to your second monitor. Not to mention, it's basically running other programs in the background. It's not engaging Windows 10's natural game mode, which basically minimizes all processes in the background, optimizes your RAM to focus on the game. When you're not running full screen, it's running a bunch of stuff in the background. So that is not ideal. I would recommend just using display capture. And again, if you have a mid to high-end PC, it's not going to be terribly detrimental to your PC. If you are losing frames, what I would recommend is tapering back on some of your settings here, or going inside of your Streamlabs OBS. And if you're screen recording, setting your CQP rate down a little bit, or if you are streaming, maybe try 720p Vice 1080p. So that is how you're going to make Destiny 2 look decent while you're playing. All right, I'm going to hit up the boys in Discord and we're going to hop into a game because I'm ready to get to snap aiming here, Stallions.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Why the heck is that coming through there?
I can't hear myself echo. It's not good.
I don't know why.
Um,
Well, I know why. It's coming through my speaker, but that I don't know why. This is a gameplay.
just turn off the speaker, man.
I can't hear you. I don't know how to change it to my headphones. How the hell did this even happen? Voice chat on default. Okay. Where is sound? Okay. Video controller, keyboard, mouse. Gameplay. What is happening? My game is on Krizak. Okay. Can you hear me? I'm gonna have to go into my... Hello? Hello?
Okay, okay.
Sound. System. Sound. Okay, that's up to par. Are you there? Say something.
Oh, no.
Say something! Are you talking? Do this if you're talking. Up and down if you're talking. I guess you're not talking. Goodbye.
Just ignore the call. Talk to me. Did you have some clan stuff to talk about?
I don't know.
never have left. Say what you want to say.
I need your attention one moment. Hey, I'm really sorry for the last week.
Hello?
Hello?
There we go.
Yeah, but it's still.
What's going on? Phone?
Why is it coming out of my monitor? Is it my monitor? Say something?
Oh,
No.
so far. Oh,
No.
no, it's not. Sad.
Hey, come here.
Did you have some clan stuff to talk about?
Man, I'm ruining
Come here.
a whole vacation because I'm fucking sick.
Sorry to hear.
We'd had clans in the
Normally
city
around
when I was a
Christmas we
kid.
go to family
I might
and
never have
stuff
left.
Mm-hmm.
in Germany. And now everybody's getting sick because they're ordering me around while I'm sick.
Wow. Are you in Germany?
This, not yet. Probably Friday.
Will you be bringing your gaming system or no?
Yes.
You will? Alright.
I will bring my PS, I will bring my TV, everything.
I'm looking to start streaming again because I went back to school.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going back to school for HVAC. Aaron had he wanted to set up a meeting for himself to go back to school, and he had made a mention to me so that because he knew I went to the school. He had asked me prior to him going for the meeting, and then he told me that they were, that he could bring somebody along, and he asked me if I pretty much wanted to go, and I went with him, and things ended up working out.
Good.
The view up here is pretty good too, I
You still
guess.
hear me good?
Yeah, I do.
If you like concrete.
Oh,
I'm.
that's good, man. Learning is always good.
I feel like HVAC is one of the better trades.
I mean, I don't know. I have no clue how shit works over there where you're at.
Yeah, I know it's different in Europe. You got freaking two-prong plugs, bro.
I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, we have two-prong plugs over here as well, but like yours are more like kind of like cylindrical, while ours are just like a big metal
We'd had clans
slab.
in the city when I was a kid. I might never have left.
Like yours are like little tiny cylindrical metal things, while ours is just like not the size of your finger, but like the width of your finger.
Yeah. Dude, man, I like these fucking cowboys, man. Cowboys. Cowboy hats. The forest though. Only forest. So
Alright.
what do you want to do, man?
Well, tough. Frick. For now, I'm literally just setting up my stream. Like, I've been at it for 45 minutes. I'm about to end the stream.